Archangel Michael says, this is your last warning. This Christmas, a big tragedy is coming. Open immediately. Be still for a moment. Do not rush past this feeling that made you stop. There is a reason your heart slowed when these words found you. I did not come loudly. I did not come with fire or noise. I came quietly, because the most serious warnings are not shouted. They are whispered, to see who is listening. If you feel a weight in your chest right now, it is not fear. It is recognition. Something in your spirit already knows this moment matters. I am Archangel Michael, and I am speaking to you directly. Not to the crowd. Not to everyone. To you. Before your mind tries to explain this away, before doubt interrupts, stay here with me. There is a reason you opened this. There is a reason you did not scroll past. Heaven does not waste timing. I will not begin with what is coming. First, you must understand why this message reached you. Many saw the same words and felt nothing. Many laughed. Many mocked. But you paused. That tells me your spirit is awake. And because it is awake, you are accountable to what you hear next. This Christmas is not like the others. The world will decorate it with lights and songs, but beneath the surface, something heavy is moving. A shift. A collision between truth and denial. What I call a tragedy is not only blood or disaster. Sometimes tragedy is an exposure so sharp it shatters illusions people built their lives on. Sometimes tragedy is a fall that could have been avoided if warning had been heeded. I am not here to scare you. Fear is not my language. Clarity is. Protection is. Truth is. There is a pattern repeating around you. You have felt it for months. A tightening. A sense that something is about to happen. You could not name it, but it kept you awake some nights. You asked God quietly, what is coming? This is your answer. Someone close to you is walking toward a decision that opens a door they cannot close. Pride is guiding them, not wisdom. Silence is protecting them, not truth. And if nothing interrupts this path, the outcome will ripple wider than they expect. It will touch families, reputations, stability, innocent hearts. You were not chosen to stop it with force. You were chosen to be awake. Your role is awareness, alignment, and obedience. Right now, I ask you to do something small but powerful. If your heart is still open, type 111 in the comments and affirm, I choose truth over fear. This is not for me. It is for you. Words spoken anchor the spirit. Do not misunderstand me. This warning does not mean doom is guaranteed. Heaven warns because heaven still hopes. A warning is mercy in advance. But mercy only works when it is received. There are conversations you have been avoiding. Truths you sensed but pushed away because they were uncomfortable. This Christmas season will force honesty. What is hidden will strain to surface. Secrets do not like holy light. They panic when exposure draws near. You may notice strange delays. Plans shifting. Meetings cancelled. These are not coincidences. They are buffers. Time being stretched so damage can be reduced. But buffers expire. I need you to listen carefully now. Do not involve yourself in drama. Do not rush to confront in anger. Do not post what should be prayed. The enemy would love to turn warning into chaos. Stay calm. Stay clean. Stay aligned. Your protection comes from obedience, not noise. If fear tries to rise, stop it immediately. Fear does not prepare you. Faith does. Say out loud, I am covered. My household is covered. My path is guarded. If you believe this, type 222 and affirm your faith. You have been underestimated for a long time. People thought you were passive, quiet, unaware. They did not realize you were discerning, watching, learning. Heaven often hides its strongest watchers in silence. The season that now unfolds before you is not just another holiday or another year's end, it is a spiritual threshold. The atmosphere itself grows heavy for a reason. What is hidden will begin to surface, and truths long suppressed will find their way into the open. This Christmas will not merely decorate the world with light, it will divide light from illusion. It will separate those who pretend peace from those who walk in it. Do not be surprised if relationships strain, if certain circles you once moved in begin to crumble or feel different. The shaking has purpose. It is a divine filtration, not punishment. Every connection built on honesty will deepen. Every tie built on pretense will start to fray. Do not grieve unnecessarily when something or someone falls away. What is real cannot be lost, only illusions dissolve under light. Sometimes loss enters your life disguised as rescue. It feels painful to let go, but often heaven intervenes by removing what you would not release yourself. The divine will never strip you without reason, it prunes you so that peace can breathe again. There are places where honesty could no longer fit, and heaven refused to let you shrink to stay small. You have carried compassion beautifully, sometimes too beautifully. You have forgiven more than most can see. You've tolerated behavior that bruised your soul because you believed in potential, in redemption, in the spark within others. But hear me with clarity now, compassion without boundaries becomes permission for harm. Your softness has value, but it must serve truth, not convenience. When the divine calls you to step back, it is not rejection, it is correction. You are allowed to create space where peace can live. You are allowed to say no without guilt. You are allowed to guard your energy. Because preservation is part of obedience. Those who react harshly to your boundaries are the ones who benefited from their absence. Do not be shocked by their response. Reactions expose intentions. When you assert your worth, those who only valued your silence will start to show themselves. That revelation will sting, but it will also set you free. The days ahead will make motives visible, not to shame anyone, but to bring alignment. Your discernment is heightening for a reason. Pay attention to who tries to make you feel guilty for protecting your own peace. That is not love, it is control dressed as concern. True connections respect your rest, your no, and your divine timing. Even in this warning, there is good news. Heaven has already activated protection around you. There are unseen movements unfolding on your behalf, divine strategies shifting circumstances quietly. You are being repositioned, placed slightly out of reach of what could have caused lasting damage. The realignment may feel inconvenient or lonely, but it is not abandonment. It is preparation. The path narrows before the destination broadens. Remember this: delay is protection, distance is mercy, and what you interpret as emptiness often hides divine fullness waiting to reveal itself. Loneliness visits those who perceive truth earlier than others. The watchers, the spiritually awake, often walk through silent corridors while the world still sleeps. It is part of your calling to see before others understand. But though you may feel alone, you are surrounded by light. Angels walk unseen around you. Heaven bends near your breath. Each sigh you've whispered into the night has been heard. Solitude is not evidence of neglect, it is the incubator of revelation. When the noise fades, divine instruction speaks louder. Now, if you are still here reading these words, there is no coincidence. You were meant to receive them. Type 333 in your heart and declare aloud, even quietly, I trust divine protection. This is not an empty confession, it is a spiritual contract. Every time you affirm trust, you give heaven permission to guard you more deeply. Trust becomes a gate, and through that gate flows peace that the world cannot offer. Do not underestimate the power of your alignment. One soul anchored in faith shifts outcomes for many. Between now and Christmas, you will sense inner urgings, small but persistent. They may not come with loud signs or dramatic visions, but through quiet inner nudges that insist gently, don't go, wait, rest. Those whispers are not paranoia, they are protection. Obey swiftly, even when logic argues. Heaven often moves through subtle prompts to keep you one step away from unnecessary pain. There are storms designed for your learning and others you are meant to avoid entirely. Discernment is knowing the difference. Sometimes obedience will feel like staying home instead of attending that invitation. Sometimes it will mean pausing before saying yes to an offer, even one that looks harmless. The divine never withholds joy, but it rescues you from entanglements disguised as blessings. When you sense urgency from others, pressures to decide or commit quickly, pause. Urgency is often a disguise that conceals manipulation. Truth carries peace, even when it prompts change, deceit carries anxious haste. Test every opportunity through stillness. If peace remains after you pause, proceed. If unrest lingers, step back. In the days ahead, there will be events that shake public confidence, perhaps even collective belief in safety or unity. You will hear many say, "No one saw this coming." But you will recognize it immediately. You were warned, not for fear, but for steadiness. Your calm presence will become help for others, like light during power loss. When hearts race and panic rises, your composure will become a refuge. Your peace will teach without words. Calm people become shelters in chaotic times. This is part of your calling. Now, I must speak more directly. There is an invitation on its way to you. It will seem harmless, even flattering. It may appear as opportunity, relationship, or collaboration, wrapped in just enough charm to look like a reward. But beneath it hides entanglement. Delay all urgent commitments. Wait until after discernment clears your vision. Sometimes the enemy of progress is not evil, it is premature good. Anything not aligned with divine timing, no matter how glittering it seems, will drain instead of nourish. If, as you read these words, peace surrounds you, that calm is confirmation. Spirit recognizes truth by resonance. No manipulation brings peace, peace signals presence. But if something in you feels unsettled, pause gently. That agitation is not accusation, it is revelation. It shows where attachment resists divine rearrangement. Sit with it. Ask your heart, what am I afraid to release, and let divine wisdom answer honestly. Do not fear change. What feels like shaking is actually sorting. You are being moved closer to authenticity. The divine will never remove something essential, only what endangers your alignment. This clearing season may appear dark, but remember, dawn always demands the night before it. Christmas still carries its promise of light. It just arrives through exposure first. Shadows flee not because they are forced, but because light enters. You are held firmly, even now. All that is unfolding serves you, not against you. In celestial record, your name remains covered under divine assurance. You will not be touched by what is meant to refine others if you stay attentive. The safest place is always within obedience. When Spirit says, wait, you wait. When it says, move, even one step, take it. Small obediences prevent large consequences. That is the rhythm of divine protection. There will be moments that test your softness. Some will misunderstand you, calling your silence detachment or your distance pride. Stay kind, but stay firm. You were not called to convince others of your purity, you were called to preserve it. Let your peace speak louder than explanations. Those meant to walk with you will understand your quiet boundaries. Others will find fault because they cannot benefit as before. Do not chase validation from the blind. Recognize that light causes discomfort to eyes not yet ready to adjust. In the spiritual realm, watchers are needed now more than ever. The world trembles not from wrath, but from awakening. Light and shadow cannot share the same corner anymore. The thinning veil means awareness heightens, dreams become messages, coincidences multiply, discernment sharpens. Stay humble within it. Revelation is not superiority, it is stewardship. What you know spiritually is for guiding gently, not flaunting power. Do not cast these insights before those who mock sacred things. Mockery hardens their hearts further, and wisdom wasted on pride becomes noise. Share only where humility lives, where someone truly desires light. The divine does not waste its breath. You are trusted because you carry truth without arrogance. That is rare, and it is why heaven speaks through you gently. You are a vessel meant for balance, compassion with clarity, mercy with boundaries, love with wisdom. If this message has settled into your spirit, then hear the next instruction. Type 444 within your heart and affirm, I will walk wisely. That declaration seals your steps. You are not chosen because you are perfect, but because you are willing. Willing hearts attract divine missions. You may not always feel prepared, but the grace sent with your calling fills every gap. Each time you move from fear to faith, invisible forces strengthen the path beneath your feet. Remain alert but unafraid. Fear misleads, awareness guides. The difference between worry and wisdom is peace, one drains, the other steadies. You have already survived so much, this coming season will not destroy you. It will reveal your refinement. What once shook you will now confirm how far you've matured. The storms ahead are not punishment. They are final exams confirming readiness for new authority. You have studied in silence, soon, your steadiness will teach others louder than words ever could. As you prepare for the days around Christmas, make time for stillness. Turn music lower, light a candle, breathe with intention. In that space, listen. There are whispers layered within moments, angelic guidance that often gets drowned by hurry. Not everything needs solving, some things simply need noticing. The divine often hides instruction inside simplicity, a delayed message, a meeting cancelled, an unexpected silence. All these are signs for those who are awake. If you notice sudden detours or plans shifting beyond your control, do not panic. It is spiritual choreography. Protection sometimes looks like inconvenience. Missed calls and cancelled gatherings can carry unseen mercy. You are being moved like a chess piece by unseen hands, positioned beyond reach of what sought harm. Even exhaustion can be holy if it makes you pause long enough to avoid danger. Lean into trust. Trust is not naive, it is the weapon of the wise. Trust tells the unseen, I may not understand what you're doing, but I know you. That knowing repels despair. When you declare, I trust divine protection, spiritual alignment fortifies you against fearful vibrations. Darkness loses power where faith is anchored. Those who mock spiritual readiness often do so because they have never learned the quiet strength of humility. They rush, they laugh, they dismiss, thinking wisdom must always arrive loudly or with proof they can touch. But readiness is not loud. It is patient. It is a bowed head, an open heart, a willingness to be taught rather than entertained. Confusion does not follow them because fate is cruel, it follows because they refuse the simple shelter humility offered. That is why this word is not for everyone. Not every ear is meant to hear it yet. Truth shared too early becomes a burden instead of a blessing. It gets twisted, misread, or used as a weapon against the very light that offered it. Sacred things must be handled with care. Discernment is not secrecy born of fear, it is protection born of love. The deepest mysteries are not hidden to exclude, but to preserve their power for those who will treat them as holy. You are entering a season where what was hidden will no longer remain concealed. Secrets will not need to be dragged into the open, they will surface on their own. People will reveal themselves without meaning to, not through grand confessions, but through small inconsistencies, subtle reactions, and the quiet language of their presence. Pay attention to how your body responds, how your spirit tightens or relaxes around certain souls. Before words form, energy already speaks. If someone's presence alone unsettles your peace, that is information, not imagination. You do not owe everyone access to your inner world. Distance does not always require an explanation. Disconnection does not always need a confrontation. Sometimes silence is the boundary heaven draws for you, a gentle line saying, "This is far enough." In the days ahead, noise will increase. The world will shout. Headlines will compete for attention, each one more shocking than the last. Exposures will come suddenly. Structures people trusted will wobble. Voices will rise, opinions will harden, and fear will try to attach itself to every development like a parasite looking for a host. But you are not meant to absorb that panic. You will notice something different within yourself, a steadiness that does not come from denial, but from foresight. You will stand like calm water while storms churn around you. This is not because you are better than others, but because you were prepared differently. Remember this: foreknowledge is never given for pride. It is given for positioning. You are not meant to announce what you see or prove that you knew first. You are meant to stand as reassurance when others feel lost. When people say, "This is unthinkable," you will quietly know that heaven already accounted for it. Light does not scramble to respond. Light sees ahead. It moves with awareness, not reaction. When you refuse to be pulled into hysteria, you become an anchor. When you speak calmly while others shout, you become a refuge. After the shaking passes, something tender will emerge. Laughter will return, but it will sound different, cleaner, softer, more honest. Joy will sprout from places no one expected, like flowers breaking through cracks in stone. Communities will begin to rebuild, not around image or performance, but around truth. Masks will lose their usefulness. Authenticity will become the new safety. Those who endured this refinement without bitterness, who chose grace over resentment, will taste renewal bright and unmistakable, like the first light of dawn after a long night. The light of Christmas will not simply decorate this season, it will reveal it. It will shine after truth has done its purifying work, after illusions have burned away. Understand this clearly: you are not being punished. Nothing about this season is meant to break you. You are being prepared to live lighter, freer, and closer to what is real. What feels like loss is often just release. What feels like delay is often alignment. What feels like silence is often protection. And know this deeply: beyond emotion and beyond doubt, you are not alone in this. Not distant. Not forgotten. Not observed from afar. There is presence with you now, attentive, active, intentional. Angelic guardians are not myths or metaphors. They are assignments fulfilled quietly and faithfully. They stand watch when you are unaware. When you speak words of peace, you strengthen the boundary around your life. When you choose rest instead of worry, they keep vigil. Nothing born of chaos is permitted to cross the lines heaven has drawn around you. This message feels final not because it is driven by anger, but because time is tightening. The world is accelerating, demanding reaction, urgency, constant output. Heaven, however, is asking something very different of you. It is asking you to slow down. To notice. To stay aware. Awareness is your salvation now, not escapism, not busyness, not distraction. Stay awake in spirit. Stay kind when harshness feels easier. Stay courageous when silence feels safer. You are not called to fight every battle presented to you. You are called to protect your soul. Some battles drain you because they were never yours to begin with. Let unnecessary noise fall away without guilt. You are not abandoning responsibility by choosing peace. You are honoring wisdom. Protect your light from exhaustion. Burnout does not prove devotion. Rest is not weakness, it is strategy. Even angels rest between assignments. Even creation pauses between breaths. Never forget this truth: a warning is not evidence of wrath. It is evidence of love. Silence would be easier if there were no care. Advance notice is given only to those meant to endure, to stand, to help others through. If heaven were angry, it would not speak. It speaks now so you can remain steady when others fall, so you can comfort when panic spreads, so you can shine without flickering in the shadows that always come before renewal. You were not placed in this time by accident. Trust was involved. Responsibility was considered. You were chosen not because you are flawless, but because you are willing. Walk wisely, not hurriedly. Rest deeply, without apology. Speak truth gently, without needing to win. And listen. There will be another whisper. Not yet. Not loudly. But it will come exactly when it is needed. Until then, remain anchored. What is ahead is not meant to consume you, but to reveal what has been quietly growing within you all along.